not just your duty, but your privilege to help your government by paying your tax and paying it promptly.
Oh, what's the big hurry?
What's the big hurry? Your country is at war. Your country needs taxes for guns, machine guns, anti-tank guns, long-range guns, guns, all kinds of guns.
A substantial part of the confiscation is affected by taxation.
Every worker in the country, farmers, bank presidents, streetcar conductors, dentists, teachers, clerks, mechanics, even unskilled laborers, work 3 months of every year to pay for what government spends.
The thing about the welfare state is that when you start on this route, everything goes fine. To begin with, you are imposing taxes on 90% of the people, small taxes, and are able to give considerable benefits to 10% of the people. And then you ultimately get to the position where 100% of the people are paying taxes in order to provide benefits to 100% of the people. Using government to achieve these objectives means trying to do good with someone else's money. Nobody spends somebody else's money as carefully as he spends his own. And therefore you are going to have waste and ultimately fiscal catastrophe. You cannot do good with someone else's money unless you first take it away from them. And therefore, force, coercion, is at the very heart of the welfare state.
The welfare statists were quick to recognize that if they wished to retain political power, the amount of taxation had to be limited. Of all the numerous forms that governments have taken over the centuries, of all the concepts and institutions that have been tried, none has succeeded in keeping the state in check. Perhaps new paths of inquiry must be explored if the successful, final solution of the state question is ever to be attained.
I think if you take away the government's ability to expand the monetary base, given enough time, the rest of the issues sort themselves out, because it realigns the incentives back to sound economics, back to fairer participation in an actually productive society. So I think if you could take away the government's ability to print wealth, because we're always going to have organizations that are in charge. There's always going to be somebody that has more power than you. And as much as I'd love to see an anarcho-capitalist society exist, Galt's Gulch, so to speak, if it were to happen tomorrow, right, the power vacuum would be enormous, and we might end up in a worse place than we are today. That said, if I could hit the button and just simply stop the ability of the governments to create money and finance debt, I think that a lot of the problems would sort themselves out within a generation.